So for today's lesson, we will be going to discuss about the Chapter 8, Managing Strategy and Strategic Planning.
The nature of strategic management. Strategy, a comprehensive plan for accomplishing an organization's goals. Strategy is a plan of action that fit together to reach a clear destination. Or, strategy is you were focusing on your efforts to achieve your goals and in how will you succeed. Suppose a sport business aims to popularize its product and therefore they target to air commercials during the cricket matches of BD. Suppose a new soap company wants to grab the major market share in Bangladesh by beating the Lux and then hire Deepika Padukone as their brand ambassador and air series of ads to make it known to all. That the examples of strategy. The strategy is hire an ambassador and air the commercial during the cricket matches or sports. Strategic management, a comprehensive and ongoing management process aimed at formulating and implementing effective strategies. It is a way of approaching business opportunity and challenges. Strategic management is ongoing planning, monitoring, analyzing, and assessments of all societies and organizations' needs to meet its goals. Effective strategy, a strategy that promotes superior alignment between organizations in its environment and between the organizations in achievement of strategic goals. Effective strategy is an organization's ability to set the right goals and consistently achieve them. When a firm is successful choosing and implementing strategic move which result them the desired outcome is an effective strategy. If it uses the resources you allocating according to your plan and deliver the expected result, you have to continually evaluate use of resources and performing to check if your strategy is hitting your target. For this example, suppose Pran RFL, when entered the plastic market as a first mover, they were high risk and finally succeed to turn the whole market to love their products. They are high risk to enter the plastic market as the first mover. So their strategy is effective. That's why the whole market is love their products. The components of strategy. Components of strategy addresses three areas: distinctive components, scope, and resource deployment. Distinctive components. An organizational strength possessed by only a small number of competing firms. ATM network and fast track of DBBL. Distinctive components is a superior characteristic strength or quality that distinguish a company from its competitors. Scope. When applied to a strategy, it specifies the range of markets in which an organization will compete. The product and services a company plans to offer over a specific period and indicated where to which target market they will be sold. Resource deployment. How an organization will distribute its resources across the areas in which it competes. The choices a firm makes as to where and how much to invest reflect issues of resource deployment. Suppose Square Group is a very prominent brand in Bangladesh. It can plan to expand in its business how outside of the BD or start and develop your new ventures or sister concern under the group. Pran Group expanded its business to 7 sister provinces of India. Resource deployment is provided to support a specific project or goal, such as provisions of internet access and design of deliberate features for online citizen participation.
So the next discussion is about the types of strategic alternatives. Business level strategy. It's the set of strategic alternatives that an organization chooses from as it conducts business in a particular industry or market. It helps the firm to focus on its competitive effort for each industry or market in a targeted manner. So business level strategies are more focused than corporate level strategies, but not nearly as focused as functional level strategies. Corporate level strategy is the set of strategic alternatives that an organization chooses from as it manages its organization and operations simultaneously across several industries and markets. In today's world, most conglomerates run their business in a variety of industries and markets. So, a corporate level strategy is a multi-tiered company plan that leaders use to define, outline, and achieve specific business goals. Thus, firms today develop business level strategy for each industry or market and develop an overall strategy that suits for several industries or markets. Strategy formulation and implementation. Strategy formulation, the set of processes involved in creating or determining the strategies of the organization. It focuses on the content of strategies. So when we say strategy formulation, is the process of selecting the most appropriate and efficient ways to realize an organization vision and help it realize its goals and objectives. Strategy implementation, the methods by which strategies are operational or executed within the organization. It focuses on the processes through which strategies are achieved. So, strategy implementation is the process of turning plans into action to reach a desired outcome. The next one is the formulation and implementation. The process of formulating and implementing strategies are rational, systematic, and planned. Deliberate strategy, a plan chosen and implemented to support specific goals. So when we say deliberate strategy, it is an approach to strategic planning that emphasizes on achieving an intended business objective. Emergent strategy, a pattern of action that develops over time in an organization in the absence of missions and goals or despite missions and goals. So when we say emergent strategy, is the process of identifying unforeseen outcomes from the execution of strategy and then learning to incorporate those unexpected outcomes into future corporate plans.
Using SWOT analysis to formulate strategy. SWOT, an acronym, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It is a framework used to develop strategic plans for a business. Let's talk about what is strengths. Strengths describe what is a business excel at and what makes them different from their competitors. Weaknesses. These are the areas that the company need to improve on. Opportunities. These are the factors that can give a business a competitive advantage. And last, the threats. These are the factors that can potentially harm the business. Organizational strength, a skill or capability that enables an organization to conceive, visualize, of and implement its strategies. Organizational strength refers to an organization's abilities to meet the demands of customer, can manage resources effectively, enhance and motivate their employee performance, thereby staying ahead of the competition. In an organization or a company, it is important to have a strength. It is the positive internal factors it presents and you can control it. What are the sample of this strength of an organization is you have a cheap raw materials, skillful employees, and small capital outlay. There are two categories of organizational strength, the common strength and distinctive competencies. Let's define what is common strength. It is an organizational capability possessed by numerous competing factors. It is a tangible, strategic asset that an organization draws from to get work done, execute its business strategy, and satisfy its customer. Competitive parity exists when a large number of competing firms follow a common strategy. Firms with common strategy cannot achieve above average performance. Competitive parity refers to a business has neither advantage or disadvantage over its peers. Competitive parity is important in strategic management because it allows business to focus their resources on areas
So,
where
for
they have
example,
an
did you know
advantage,
that
rather than
Coca-Cola
overspending in
and
areas where they
imitated
do not.
RC Cola and
SWOT
replicating its
analysis,
diet
mission,
cola
an
product?
organization fundamental purpose. In your business planning, it can help you to achieve your goals. SWOT analysis, to formulate strategies that support the mission. The internal analysis is the strengths and weaknesses, while the external analysis is the opportunities and threats. Good strategies, those that support mission and exploits opportunities and strengths, and avoid weaknesses. Strengths to opportunities. Use your internal strengths to take advantage of opportunities. Strengths and threats. Use your strengths to minimize threats. Weaknesses to opportunities. Improve weaknesses by taking advantage of opportunities. Weaknesses to threats. Work to eliminate weaknesses to avoid. SWOT evaluating strengths. Distinctive competencies. A distinctive competence is a strength possessed by only a small number of competing factors. These are rare among a set of competitors. For example, Toyota Company invented just-in-time technology to manage its inventory when no competitive could even think about it. The use of this technology is resulted in huge reduction of cost of inventory management and this reaping a greater points. Indeed, a main purpose of SWOT analysis is to discover firms' distinctive competencies so that it can set and implement the best strategy to take advantage of it. So first, let's define what is distinctive competencies. It's a competitively valuable activity that a company performs better than its rival. It refers to a superior characteristic strengths of quality that distinguish a company for its competitors. It is important because it increases competitive advantage, but it can help to improve customer loyalty as you will be providing a level of service that unique to your business.
Okay, so the next discussion is all about the SWOT. SWOT stands for the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So first is the evaluating the strengths. Number one is the strategic imitation. So what is strategic imitation? The practice of duplicating another organization, distinctive competency, and thereby implementing a valuable strategy. So when we say strategic imitation, it occurs when one firm purposely copies the products, the processes, managerial methods, organizational form, market entry, or investment timing of another firm with the intention of fulfilling a strategic goal. So, for example, did you know that Coca-Cola and imitated RC Cola and replicating its diet cola product? So the purpose of imitation is when people imitate others' work, they try to infer its purpose or goal and interpret this within their own cognitive framework. So the next one is the sustained competitive advantage. So a competitive advantage that exists after all attempt at a strategic imitation success. So sustained competitive advantage, an advantage that allows a business to be more successful than its competitors over a long period of time. So companies now recognize that good human resources are as important as products in building a sustainable competitive advantage. It also defined as a set of features and capabilities that allows a business to meet the needs of its customers better than its competitors. So, a well-known example of a company with sustainable competitive advantage is Walmart. Walmart maintains a sustainable competitive advantage in part because its strategies are specific to its organization, and these strategies are known to creating a gap between Walmart's performance and that of its competitors. So the next one is evaluating an organizational weaknesses. So first is organizational weaknesses. A skill or capability that does not enable an organization to choose and implement strategies that support its mission. So when we say organizational weaknesses, they are areas where the business needs to improve to remain competitive. Like example, a weak brand, higher than average turnover, high levels of debt, and etc. So here are some examples of the organizational weaknesses. First is the irrelevant target population, bad factory location, poor financial performance, poor system that you apply, and the inexperienced leadership. So the next one is the competitive disadvantage. So what is competitive disadvantage? It is a situation in which an organization is not implementing valuable strategies that are being implemented by competing organization. Okay, so when we say competitive is a term used to describe a business inability to effectively compete with their competitors. So for example, to a bad human resources management belong to poor treatment of employee and lack of motivation. Okay, so evaluating an organizational opportunities and threats. So the first one is the organizational opportunity. So when we say organizational, an organization is basically a group of people who collectively work to achieve a common goals. So when we say organizational opportunities, an area and the environment that if exploited may generate higher performance. So when we say organizational opportunity, it is concerned with illegal profit that seem more conveniently achieved in our organizational setting where the offender can enjoy power and influence based on position and trust. So organizational threats, an area in the environment that increase the difficulty of an organization performing of a high level. So when we say organizational threats, refers to the factors that have potential to harm an organization. One of the most common threats faced by organization is employees with a negative approach. Remember that nothing can harm an organization more than an unfaithful employees. Believe me that employees who attend office just to earn their salaries are in fact the biggest threat to an organization. So Porter's generic strategies. It is a group of 4 categories of competitive strategies: the differentiation, the cost leadership, and the focus strategy. So the first one is the differentiation strategy. Differentiation strategy, a strategy in which an organization seeks to distinguish itself from competitors through the quality of its product or services. So define your differentiation strategy is the way in which you make your firm stand out from otherwise similar competitors in the marketplaces. Usually, it involves highlighting a meaningful difference between you and your competitors. That difference must be valued by your potential clients. Differentiation strategy allows a company to compete in the market with something other than the lower prices. So overall cost leadership strategy. A strategy in which an organization attempts to gain a competitive advantage by producing its costs below the cost of competing firms. So overall cost leadership strategy hangs on a company ability to lower cost of production to offer quality products at low prices. It's an effective strategy for large companies with lots of buying powers, but it's less effective for small businesses. So a firm following a cost leadership strategy offers products or services with acceptable quality and feature to a broad set of customers at low price. So the last one is all about the focus strategy. So when we say focus strategy, a strategy in which an organization concentrates on a specific regional market, product line, or a group of buyers. Focus strategy is a method of developing, marketing, and selling products to a niche market, which could be a type of a consumer, product line, or a geographical area. A focus strategy would center on the expansion of marketing tactics for your company while aiming to establish a new relationship with your target audience.
So now we are going to tackle the Miles and Snow typology. First one is prospector strategy. A strategy in which the firm is constantly seeking new markets and new opportunities, and it's oriented towards growth and risk-taking. Prospector companies are seen to be first movers in market with their growth driven by innovation and thought leadership. Example, Apple is a commonly cited example of what would be considered a company with a prospector strategy, with launches such as an iPhone and Apple Watch. The second one is defender strategy, a strategy in which the firm concentrates on protecting the current markets, maintaining stable growth, and serving current customers. Defender strategy entails finding and maintaining a security and relatively stable market, rather than being on the cutting edge of the technological innovation, product development, and market dynamics. A defenders try to insulate themselves from changes whatever possible. And the third one is analyzer strategy, a strategy in which the firm attempts to maintain its current businesses and to create new markets opportunities. Analyzer companies attempt to take the best part of both defender and prospector. They are defending their current market position and looking for new opportunities and innovating. So what does an analyzer do? An analyzer is a tool used to analyze data. For example, a gas analyzer tool is used to analyze gases. It examines the given data and tries to find patterns and relationship. An analyzer can be a piece of hardware and software. And the last one is the reactor strategy. A reactor strategy in which a firm has no consistent approach to strategy. The reactor strategy is the least aggressive, and organizations typically do not have any forward-looking or predictive strategy. They are not proactive and react to events as and when they occur. Their strategies are enforced when they are required to respond to changes in the market and other environmental factors.
Strategies based on the product life cycle. Product life cycle. A model that shows sales volume changes over the life of product. It is the length of time from a product first being introduced to consumers until it is removed from the market. A product's life cycle is usually broken down into 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. The first one is introduction stage. Demand may be very high and sometimes outpaces the firm's ability to supply the product. This product life cycle stage involves developing a market strategy, usually through an investment in advertising and marketing to make consumer aware of the product and its benefits. At this stage, sales tend to be slow as demand is created. This stage can take time to move through depending on the complexity of the product, how new and innovative it is, how it suits consumer needs, and whether there is any competition in the marketplace. Second one is growth stage. More firms begin producing the product and sales continue to grow. If a product successfully navigates through the market introductions, it is ready to enter the growth stage of the life cycle. This should see growing demand promote an increase in production and the product becoming more widely available. The strategy growth of the market into introduction and development stage now turns into a sharp upturn as the product takes off. The third one is the mature stage. Overall demand growth begins to slow down. At this point, a product is established in the marketplace, and so the cost of the producing and marketing the existing product will decline. The last one is decline stage. Demand for product. Eventually, as competition continues to rise with other companies seeking to emulate your success with additional product, features, or lower prices, so the life cycle will go into decline. Decline can also be caused by new innovations that supersede your existing products such as horses drawn carriages going out of fashion as the automobile took over. This is the product life cycle. From the diagram, it can be seen how the demand for the product is low during the introduction. It reaches high during the growth stage. The demand remains balanced during the maturity stage and started dropping in the decline stage. Basis of relatedness in implementing related diversification. Basis relatedness. The first one is similar technologies. Similar technologies is a website, profiler, lead generations, competitive analysis, and business intelligence tools producing technologies, adaptation, and usage analysis tics for the internet.
Implementing corporate level strategies. First, the backward vertical integration. An organization begins the business activities formerly conducted by its suppliers. So, the backward vertical integration is a form of vertical integration in which a company expands its route to fulfill tasks formerly completed by business up to supply chain. The second one is the forward vertical integration. An organization stops selling to one customer and sells instead to that customer's customer. So the forward vertical integration is a type of business strategy that involves moving through the product cycle and giving a company more control over its distribution. The third one is a merger, the purchase of one firm by another of the same size. Merger occurs when the two businesses form a new third entity. The last one is a acquisition, the purchase of the firm by another that is considerably larger. So acquisition is one company purchases and absorbs the other into its operations. International and global strategies. International firms can improve their efficiency through several means not accessible to a domestic firm. Location efficiencies, by locating their facilities anywhere in the world that yields the lowest cost. They may also lower costs by capturing economics of scale. By broadening their product lines, they can enjoy economies of scope. So here in the international and global strategies, they can achieve this by placing their facilities wherever they can do it at the least expensive rate. They can take advantage of economies of scale by expanding their products offerings. Multinational flexibility. Unlike domestic firms, which operate in and response to changes in the context of a single domestic environment, international businesses may also respond to a change in one country by implementing a change in another country. So the political, economic, legal, and cultural environments of countries vary widely. Moreover, this environment can change constantly. International businesses may respond to a change in one country by enacting a change in another, in contrast to domestic businesses that operate in and respond to changes within the context of a single domestic setting. Worldwide learning. The diverse operating environments of multinational corporations may also contribute to organizational learning. Differences in these operating environments may cause the firm to operate differently in one country than another. So the worldwide learning is the multinational firms' varied operational environments might also aid in organizational learning. The firm may operate differently in one country than another due to differences in various operating environments.
So the next discussion is about the strategic alternatives for international business. Home replication. A firm utilizes the core competency or firm-specific advantage it developed at home as its main competitive weapon in the foreign market that it enters. The home replication strategy is applied when there is little or no need for flexibility or standardization. This strategy aims to open up additional international markets without major adaptation for products primarily developed from domestic consumers. So the next one is the multi-domestic strategy. A corporation manages itself as a collection of relatively independent operating subsidiaries, and it's free to customize its product, its marketing campaigns, and operating techniques to meet local customers' needs. So, a multi-domestic strategy is a strategy by which companies try to achieve maximum local responsiveness by customizing both their product offering and marketing strategy to match different national conditions. Global strategy, as defined in business terms, is an organization's strategic guide to globalization. Such a connected world allows a business revenue to not be confined by borders. A business can employ a global business strategy to reap the rewards of trading in a worldwide market. So when we say global strategy, it is a strategy that a company develops to expand into the global market. Transnational strategy. The transnational attempts to combine the benefits of global scale efficiencies such as those pursued by a global corporation with the benefits and advantage of a local responsiveness, which is the goal of a multi-domestic corporation. So what is a transnational strategy? A transnational strategy leverages a high level of local responsiveness and a high level of global integration in its operations. It tries to localize its offering to each global market while also standardizing as much as possible. Replacement of suppliers and customers. Backward vertical integration. An organization beginning the business activities formerly conducted by its suppliers. So what is backward integration? When we say backward integration, is a form of vertical integration in which a company expands its role to fulfill tasks formerly completed by businesses up the supply chain. In other words, backward integration is when a company buys another company that supplies the products or services needed for production. For example, a company might buy their suppliers of inventory or raw materials. Companies often complete backward integration by acquiring or merging with these other businesses. But they can also establish their own subsidiary to accomplish the task. Complete vertical integration occurs when a company owns every stage of the production process, from raw materials to finished goods and services. The next one is forward vertical integration. An organization stops selling to one customers and sells instead to that customers. So when we say forward vertical integration, it happens when a business improves its production cycle by taking control of all the stages in the supply chain to create its product. It takes place inside of the distribution channel. So our last discussion is about the managing diversification. Portfolio management technique, a method that diversified organizations use to make decisions about what businesses to engage in and how to manage these multiple businesses to maximize corporate performance. So what is diversification in portfolio management? Diversification is the practice of spreading your investment around so that your exposure to any one type of asset is limited. This practice is designed to help reduce the volatility of your portfolio over time. The next one is the BCG matrix, a method of evaluating businesses relative to the growth rate of their market and the organization share of the market. So how the BCG matrix is used to manage those corporate strategies. A BCG matrix is a model used to analyze a business products to aid with long-term strategic planning. The matrix helps companies identify new growth opportunities and decide how they should invest for the future.